Hey folks, just thought I'd put this video out and just say I'm sorry for the Dark Souls video. It was obviously not up to standard. There was a lot of complaining about it, the commentary wasn't great, I don't think I made my points well enough, and quite frankly I did repeat myself. When it comes to that video, it's a very intimidating thing to do, because you've got to talk about a game that I very much view as one of the best console action RPGs ever made, and yet you've then also got to talk about the PC port, which isn't very good. It's got problems, and then you've got to think, well, how do I balance my desire for this game, bearing in mind that when I put out my video about getting Dark Souls to PC, when I started supporting that cause, that video got 700,000 views. I think it's fair to say that the response to that video is one of the main reasons why this whole thing happened to begin with. And you can just look at the numbers, it's very difficult to argue with that. So that puts me in a position of responsibility where I've really got to talk about the port when it actually comes out. And you know what, doing a WTF of Dark Souls is just nigh on impossible. The game's a very challenging game, there's no question about that, but what do you say about a game that's been out for that long? I mean, what can you say that is more insightful or just even useful in comparison to everything else that everybody's already said about it? This is a game with a very passionate community that has gone very in-depth investigating all aspects of the game. Now, if I'd just been able to succinctly talk about all of the problems that the port's got and then have the discussion as to whether or not that's acceptable, then video might have been alright. I don't know if it was what people wanted. I have the feeling that a lot of people just want Let's Play stuff, and, well, that's not going to happen. If you want to watch a Let's Play of Dark Souls, there's plenty of people that have done really good ones, and that is not something I do. But I failed in making a good video. It's as simple as that. I screwed up. I didn't do it well. I usually get into this position, I think, when I make a bad video, that I don't really realize it, that I'll put the video up and I'll see, okay, so it's doing okay, but a lot of people are disliking it. I'll start reading through the comments to find out why, see if there's any legitimate reasons, or if it's just random bitching because, hey, I didn't like their favorite video game. It's often very difficult to distinguish between the two. And reading through, there were just so many complaints about it. I just said, you know what? It's clearly not good enough, and that's my fault. It's my fault for attempting it. It's awkward for me because I needed to get that video out as soon as possible, and Dark Souls came out at exactly the wrong time. It came out just as I was leaving for MLG, and in between MLG and PAX, I basically had one day. I'm packing to leave right now. I'm getting on the plane in a couple of hours' time to go to PAX and do my next event, and honestly, there was clearly not enough time between those two events. I think, actually, if I could turn back time, I probably would have not done either PAX or MLG, because it's too many events, one after another. I've been sick for most of this time. I think you probably noticed all the pausing and sniffing and nasal voice in that video, and you can probably notice it now, too. It's a real problem when you're trying to commentate, but you can't just leave the channel alone. You can't just stop making videos. I think maybe I should have just waited until after PAX before doing that video, and I'm going to do another video on Dark Souls when I get back from PAX. I'm going to try and make it better. I'll film some new footage, I'll do all my commentary and post this time so I can actually focus on what I'm trying to convey. Obviously, I'll leave the comparison in there because I think that was a fairly legitimate part of the video, but it was not up to standard. And I'm really sorry about that. I don't think it's good to make money from videos that are substandard, which is why I've taken it down so that I can't make any more money from it. And hopefully I'll be able to bring you a better video after PAX. So once again, I'm really sorry about that, and I'll see you next time.